Sisters, today, inshallah, we'll talk around the beginning of Surah At-Takwir and the simple meaning for this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Exalted said, and when the stars fall, when the sun is wrapped up in darkness, when the sun is wrapped up in darkness, and when the stars falls dispersing. هذه الصورة جاءت بعد سورة عبسة، وسورة عبسة ختمت بالكلام عن يوم القيامة، فإذا جاءت الصاخة يوم يفر المرء من أخيه. هناك مشهد من مشاهد يوم القيامة، وجاءت هذه السورة جاء بعدها سورة الانفطار والحديث فيها عن مشهد من يوم القيامة. نلاحظ هذه الصور جاءت متتابعة، سورة النبأ، النازعات، عبس، التكوير، الانفطار وما إليه. غالب هذه الصور جاءت في الحديث عن يوم القيامة لأهمية هذا الحدث، والإيمان به هو أصل الإيمان الذي يرجع الإنسان لرحاب الله سبحانه وتعالى. تلاحظ كيف ابتدأ القرآن بذكر المتقين ووصفهم بالذين يؤمنون بالغيب، وهذا هو الإيمان بالغيب، الإيمان بالبعث والحشر وما سيحدث فيه. فجاء إجمال ذلك في أول القرآن وتفصيل ذلك في آخره، ليبين أن أصل الإيمان الإيمان بالمغيبات. ثم إن الإنسان يقرأ القرآن يزداد شحنة إيمانية، ثم يأتيه التذكير بيوم القيامة، فيقال له بطريق غير مباشر يفهمه من خلال قراءة السور: لابد أن تتخذ قرارك قبل أن يأتي ذلك اليوم، وقبل أن يفوت الأوان. قد اطلعت على الحقائق وعرفت الحق من الباطل، وما سيأتي سيأتي، فلا تؤجل ذلك. اعمل لنفسك خيرا وأنت مالك مالك، من قبل أن يصبح لون حالك حالك، وأنت والله لا تدري أي المسالك سالك، إما لجنة عدن وإما في المهالك هالك. اللهم سلم اللهم سلم. My dear brothers and sisters, this surah, Surah At-Takwir, the main subject of it is Yawm al-Qiyamah, talking about one of the scenes in the Day of Judgment. Previous surah ended by talking about Yawm al-Qiyamah. Following surah, it's about another scene of the Day of Judgment. In fact, all of those surahs toward the end of the Quran, the main subject, it's Yawm al-Qiyamah. Surah Naba, Al-Naba al-Azim, Al-Nazi'at, Abasa, Takwir, this surah, Al-Infitar, and all other surahs. The main subject, it's Yawm al-Qiyamah, the Day of Judgment. And why is that? And why all of this emphasis about it? Because actually that's one of the most important essence and lesson in the deen, in the religion. Why even I have to do all what I'm doing? Because I know that one day I'm going to meet Allah, I'm standing before Him. Because there's a belief in the Day of Judgment. If you take that out, there's no point for the religion. When gonna be the reward, the day of reward and the day of repayment? This has to be. And that's why when the Quran started with mentioning الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ, without going into details, those they believe in unseen. But the most important part of unseen, the Day of Judgment. What's going to happen before, during, and after. That's really important. So what was dropped and generally speaking about in the beginning of the Quran, Allah mentioned that in details at the end of the Quran. And now think of somebody just to grab the Quran and reading Mus'haf. He's going from the beginning to the end and go through all these facts and the reality and have not taken the decision yet. When you come to those surahs, that's scary. And that might wake him up. I have to take my decision before that day, before it's too late. So sending a message, you have to. Otherwise, you are not going to blame anybody except yourself. However, these verses and these surahs are Meccan surahs, revealed in Mecca. So in order that Sahaba, they took the decision, it's based on they saw the fact, the Prophet in front of their eyes, have heard the miracles, because they are really people of language, they know the powerful language of the Quran, but at the same time, reminded them about the day of judgment. That's why one of the reasons that make them to take the decision is building the aqidah. Iman bi yawm al-akhir, it's one of the most important part of the aqidah. Okay, somebody believe in Allah is one, believe in all messengers, but he doesn't know the consequences of coming forward, believing them or denying. He doesn't take that in consideration. What will make him coming forward and accept Islam? Yesterday, I have a conversation with a lady. She said, I believe in the oneness of Allah and believe in all messengers of God. When I talked to her, she said, oh, that makes sense. But I want to stay as I will grow up. I'm okay with that. I told her, according to your belief, you are Muslim by heart. But that's not enough. You have to come forward. She's not coming forward. One of the subjects that's dealing with those people coming forward, think of the end. When the person will think of the end, it might, really that will shake the person and make the person take a decision. So that's why that subject is very important. And there's no other book or scripture have details about the day of judgment like the Quran. Give me verses about hell from the Bible, the Old Testament and New Testament. Give me something in there. Very unlikely you will find something in there. But look at the details about the day of judgment in the Quran as if something that we see in front of our eyes. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِذَا الشَّمْسُ كُوِّرَتْ وَإِذَا النُّجُومُ انكدرت. إِذَا was repeated 12 times or so. إِذَا, when we talk about future. إِذ, in the past. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذْ أَدْبَرَ. وَالصُّبْحِ إِذَا أَسْفَرَ. So إِذ in the past and إِذَا in the future. In, and إِذَا both in the future. In the future. But in, when you have doubt, you're not sure 100%. Is in. إِذَا, when you have certainty. إِذَا. You see the use of the Quran? I told you when the Arab, they read the Quran, they didn't need that explanation because that's their language. So Allah used the word إِذَا, not إِذ or not, in. So this is like, very clear about it. إِذَا, something you have to be sure about it. إِذَا الشَّمْسُ كُوِّرَتْ وَإِذَا النُّجُومُ انكدرت. المولى سبحانه وتعالى أتى بالأمر المحقق التي سيحصل يوم القيامة فذكر شيئا من طبيعة الناس ذلك الوقت إذا الشمس كورت وإذا النجوم انكدرت. الشمس والنجوم ما يعتمد عليه ذلك الذي يعيش في تلك البيئة في نهاره وفي ليله من باب الضياء النور ومن باب الدلالة على طريقه واتجاهه حياته ذلك الأمر. يعني يتحصلوا منه على الدفء، على الراحة، يعني يعتمدوا على الشمس والنجوم في يومه كله، في ليله ونهاره. ولذلك جاء التأكيد على ذلك، الذي تعتمد عليه في ضوئه سيختفي ضوءه. إذا الشمس كورت سيختفي ضوءها، كما تكور العمامة فيأخذ ذلك الضياء شيئا فشيئا. والنجوم انكدرت ستختفي أيضا، انكدارها اختفاء ضيائها وسقوطها. فما كنت تعتمد عليه في ليلك وفي نهارك لا فائدة منه. تغير الأشياء من حولك وتصبح في ظلمة حالك. تفكر في ذلك الوقت. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started with mentioning something from their environment, that they depend on it in the day and the night. And like the sun, it's important for them to bring the light in the day when they go for earning, and bring kind of warm like feeling for them. And stars at night, it's important for them as well, bring calmness, and it's important. And sun and the stars are the most important things to know their directions. Without it, in open desert, they get lost. They know almost everything's about, sun and stars. That's how they live. So that's the main sources of their life. In other words, the main source of your life will be taken away from you. When the sun, the light of it, and all that the rays that comes from it, it will be gone. Kuwirat, that they use when they wrap the sheet around their head, they make a turban, amama. That's how, kuwirat. So all that will be covered and light will gone. And nujum, the stars, as that will displaced and will be falling and dispersing. So telling them the source of your light, the source of your guide, the source of feel a sense of yourself where you are, all that will be taken away from you. And that's something major, and a major event is happening and coming. Let's talk more about it, inshallah, in other verses. Give us the picture very clear, but it's very scary in the same time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us all. Allahumma fi dhunubana wastur ayubana balaghna fi dari matlubana. I will end just with this hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Wulidtu ana was-sa'a kahatayn." My birth and the hour is like this, and he pointed with to his finger. So the hour is there. It's just a matter of time. Wallahi, the birth of ﷺ, it's a sign of the day of judgment, as he's Nabiyyu Akhir Zaman, he's the last prophet. So a lot of people, they listen to the ayat of Yawm al-Qiyamah, and they didn't care much. Oh, it's not there. That event, we're not going to happen now. We didn't know. We should believe in that as if it's happening. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Atta amrullahi fala tastajilu. And that feeling is important. May Allah protect us all. Allahumma sallim, Allahumma sallim. Allahumma inna as'aluka ridaka wal jannah wa na'udhu bika min sakhatika wal nar. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.